So this is the K20a2 engine bay for the RSX, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but right over here is the idle air assist valve. And if you look closely, something looks a little off, and it's been off since I've gotten in the car. This little putty here has been pretty much there to kind of repair a crack. I think the previous owner had maybe broke off a piece of it, and they somehow figure out a way to kind of just keep it together. What I'm going to do today is just gonna get an adapter and just delete it completely. A lot of RSX owners eventually end up deleting it for various reasons, whether it broke or they just want to clean up the engine bay. So by adding the adapter, you pretty much just remove this hose completely, and you have to kind of cap off the connection to the intake manifold as well as your air box or your intake system. But it'll just pretty much be just a pretty much a plug that covers the top of the water outlet. So what we're going to do now is just going to remove this. I'm going to have to kind of crack open this putty here, remove the hose, and then take a 22 millimeter just to get rid and pull out that plug there that connects to the upper radiator hose. So I'm gonna get started, and we'll show you guys what the part I'll be replacing it with. So you can see here, just to update, I have pretty much removed the hose and cracked open the existing, just pretty much taken off the clay piece here. Broke the plastic piece off on purpose and loosened it with the 22 millimeter. So all that's left here is just kind of that opening there for the plug. And so we're gonna toss this away and just kind of replace it with the adapter, which I'll show you guys right now. So now that we have the valve free and open, you can see here I'm screwing it out. It's pretty much loose. You can see that hole right there. That's pretty much where we're going to put the new adapter. And this is the new adapter. It's from K20a2 Performance. And so we're going to do a few things. We're going to take a look at it real quick. But when we install it, we're going to add Honda Bond, as you can see here. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to use these valve caps. I have these assortment of valve caps from Amazon here, and we're just going to use probably this one here to plug. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're going to plug up this piece here where my finger is pointed. There's a little cap here, and we're going to just plug that up because we had a hose going in that direction, and we're just going to plug it up with this valve cap. This is a 7/8 inch long valve cap. I think an inch would be better, but I only have 7/8, and it's about 5/16 in terms of diameter, and so that's what we're going to use. So I have the valve cap here, and pretty much I'm just going to place it right on top of that fitting there, and it just slides right in. Actually 7/8 works perfect. It just fits right on top, and it gets snug right against the intake manifold. So that's that. The other cap we need to plug is for the intake box here. It also takes another valve cap that we're just kind of capping off. And then all that we need to do is install the K20a adapter. All right, so right over here is the K20a Performance Idle Air Assist Valve adapter. So it pretty much deletes the valve itself, and it looks like this. Very simple. Like it says here, Idle Air Assist Valve Plug Adapter. It's compatible with pretty much all K-series motors. Specifically, this is the K20a2, and it's two pieces, and it's pretty much this piece here. and then this little smaller piece that is an Allen wrench up top. So as I take it out, it's well packaged in several little Ziploc bags, and this is pretty much what it is. So it's a little hex adapter here, and it's going to spin right into the upper hose outlet for your coolant. So this is going to be what's holding your coolant in place. What's good is to put some Honda Bond or some sealant. Some people use some thread locking tape around here, and then you could also do the same here, but this is going to be an Allen key that we're just going to spin shut up top. And so that's what it is. It's a K-Motor Performance idle air delete kit, or a valve plug adapter. You can get this from K20a2 as well for about roughly 20 bucks. I got this one for, I'd say, about $12 on Amazon, so it's fairly inexpensive. You could also make one yourself. The only thing this doesn't include was the kind of plugs, as I was kind of installing earlier. But this here is pretty much all you need for it. The plugs, I think K20a2 gives you one plug, and you're gonna need two. So that's pretty much what this is, and it's a really nice piece that will just kind of delete the extra hose, but also, like, because mine was broken already, this just kind of solves that issue without me replacing the full part. So we're gonna start by applying a little bit of Honda Bond to just kind of the outer threads of where we're gonna place this adapter. And so I'm also going to put a little Honda Bond on the adapter itself and just kind of spread it around. So now that we have the Honda Bond applied, we're pretty much going to take this here and pretty much spin it and just make sure it just meets the threads. So we have the adapter placed on it, and we also have the Honda Bond in place as well. And we have this 17 millimeter, and we're just gonna hand torque it, make sure it just kind of goes in place. You can see there. And we're also gonna take this little tiny adapter here and just put it right in the center. And we're gonna eventually spin it with an Allen wrench, but I just wanna close that up so no debris gets in there. And what I'm gonna do right now is just take a rag and just kind of wipe around it, just to make sure I just clean up all that excess kind of Honda Bond. And then we're gonna tighten the nut, and should be good to go. So that was the install. It was pretty simple. We added some Honda Bond around the threads. We tightened it with a 17 millimeter socket. And what we did is we didn't torque it down to any spec. We just kind of hand tightened it as far as we could with just a regular socket and a ratchet. And we're just gonna let it sit for 24 hours and let the Honda Bond cure around it. This is just to prevent coolant leaks. The other thing we're gonna do is just take this little hex key and just kind of tighten that center here. This key's a little, and it looks like it just goes all the way in. So we finished torquing this thing down with the hex key. We kind of just hand tightened it as much as we could. It is pretty much all the way in past the threads, you can see there. But that's pretty much it. It looks good. There's no more loose wires. There's no more broken assist valve there. And so when we put the cover on, you pretty much won't see it, but there's just less kind of cords just hanging here. This is a very common thing that people do with their K-series engines, just for engine aesthetics, but also a lot of people break that connection from the intake because it's just a little plastic piece there. We're done with the install for this adapter, and all we need to do is just fill it up with coolant, turn on the car, make sure it's working, and we're just going to watch this area for kind of leaks in coolant and tighten as needed, but I don't think it's going to come out. So we're over here bleeding the cooling system right now. It's been about 5 to 6 minutes of bleeding, but you can see now that we have the car at operating temperature, our adapter or delete kit for the idle air assist is installed, and there's really no leaks coming out from it, so we're really good there. And just jumping into the car, you can also see that, you know, with the car is at normal idle. It's at roughly around 700-800 RPM, which is kind of what it was at before. And you know, the car is at pretty much normal operating temperature, so a little before half in that temperature gauge there. And so it's operating normally. The cooling system works. We're not having any leaks from the idle air assist deletion or the adapter. Nothing's coming out of that because we have the Honda bond and we kind of tightened it down to spec. So that is pretty much a successful install, really simple one for the car. I'm just going to continue bleeding the system because I replaced the coolant, but pretty happy with the overall look of the idle air delete kit assist. So your IAC valve below the throttle body should be able to handle it, so that's why people end up kind of deleting that assist because it's removing some of the hoses. For me, as you saw earlier in the video, is just I had already like a pretty janky part. It was kind of like held together by some type of clay material, and so for me to delete it for less than like $12-13 for the part, which was a great fix for this. So that's the end of the video. Hopefully you liked the video and just kind of demonstration of how you install the adapter, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.